NXT.org. Remember, we all do a little, we change a lot.
It's only a room with shelves and books, but it's far more magical than it looks. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association and a big fan of libraries. Instill a love of books and learning by reading to your children and grandchildren. Doing so can create a lifelong habit that leads to exploration, knowledge, and a successful future.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
The Drive with Aaron Davis, Chris Rapp, and Amon Green.
Guys, Jordy Ball returns to the circle.
She is back after a year hiatus. Yeah. Also, Olivia DiNardo.
Yep.
It's your first year transfer. She's from Arizona. Can't forget my Abby, my abs. Abby Squire is back this year from injury. She is back. They got a heck of a schedule. Women's softball kicks off in Clearwater Beach, Florida.
Weekdays from 9 to 11 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24. With the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
Welcome into What's Next 24. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, if you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. This is the Starter Heyman text line. We got the host, as always, Mike and Sherry, as well as a couple of great guests in studio today. If you want to put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. If you got Allo cable, with the house cleaning out of the way, throw it over to the host, Mike and Sherry.
Well, Sherry, go ahead.
Good morning, Lincoln and Omaha and surrounding areas. Welcome to What's Next. We're broadcasting live on 93.7 The Ticket FM. We're your beacon of hope, positivity. We're bringing you inspiring real life stories to help you rediscover happiness and joy. I'm Sherry, along with Mike and the wonderful Harrison, and I'm thrilled to have you with us as we journey together through tales of triumph, resilience, and the extraordinary power of the human spirit. So sit back, relax, let us light up your soul, and your life with stories that remind us all that no matter how tough life gets, there's always a way forward. And I just want to say, first of all, happy Super Bowl Sunday, Harrison, Kansas City or Philadelphia.
We got Eagles.
Okay,
Eagles.
way to go. And I also want to say we had an exciting week. Mike, and for those of you that don't know, Mike didn't go to Jared's. He went to Sartor Heyman.
Yeah, good old Sartor
And thank
Heyman.
you, Rick Heyman, and thank you, Sartor Heyman, for your help in all this. And if you're looking for that special something for Valentine's Day, head on over to Sartor Heyman, and there's some free advertising. All right, Mike, introduce our special guest, please.
All right. Well, good morning, Lincoln. Today we have a distinct pleasure of honoring an extraordinary individual whose journey in life has inspired many. Allow me to introduce CJ Jenkins. CJ hails from the sunny streets of Los Angeles, California, where his love for Los Angeles Lakers and the U.S. Trojans began. He was a dedicated athlete. CJ demonstrates the discipline and tenacity that have fueled his many successes. But CJ's story is not just about sports. He's also a devoted family man and a true leader. He's committed to his loved ones and his community, shines through in everything he does. Currently serving as Star Trans Assistant Transit Manager, CJ's leadership vision helps ensure the Lincoln's public transit system runs smoothly, efficiently for all of us. Today, I am especially honored to welcome CJ with his unwavering dedication and leadership. CJ, thank you for coming on this show.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Mike and
And
Sherry.
introduce your beautiful daughter to us, please.
My daughter is Kamari Jenkins. She's a freshman at Lincoln High. She plays
All right.
volleyball
Hello.
and track.
Hi, there you go.
Welcome.
We are just so glad you're here. This is a personal joy for me. I've known CJ for about 7 years. I think of CJ as a personal friend, leader, mentor, and coach in many ways. CJ, let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
Let's go back to the early years. Tell us where you're from, and we'll go there.
Well, thanks, Mike. Mike and Sherry, first of all, I appreciate you guys for even considering me to be part of your program. So that's a blessing in itself. So I think that. Started in Los Angeles, California, in the heart of Los Angeles. Crenshaw in Washington is called the Crenshaw District. A lot of famous things have gone through that area. Some famous movies have been in my neighborhoods. A lot of music videos, a lot of other things have been in my neighborhood. So it was pretty cool to watch as you grew up and seeing a lot of stars and athletes and stuff in that area. Oh, go ahead. You had some?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And so I started there from elementary, middle school, high school, all in Los Angeles in the LA County area. It was just me and my dad pretty much for the most part of my life, or about 95% of my life. So it was just me and him. You know, we went from two apartments and then kind of stayed there. My last place before I moved out here, we stayed there pretty much throughout my whole entire life.
Well, tell us, as far as growing up in Los Angeles, Nebraskans probably have no idea.
Yeah.
The size, scope, and things you were exposed to.
Right.
Share a little bit about that. What was it like growing up?
Oh man, you know, the weather is always nice. As big as LA is, it always seems small too, though. You know, you had different counties and stuff like that. The more people you knew, the smaller it get. So, you know, in the irony, when I came here in Lincoln, it was kind of the similar thing. Once you start knowing people, you see your circle getting smaller. So as big as Los Angeles was, it was very small to me because I knew I could go anywhere. So the some of the best things that I can do was always go out to the beach. There was always something to do without even having to spend or any money and everything, you know, because there was just natural commodities and natural areas you can go and have fun and enjoy yourself. So it was always accessible to do fun stuff. It was always, I can always go outside because the weather was always pretty decent. You know, you never really paid attention to weather or anything like that until, you know, you get out here and you're like, what? You know, but overall, it was something different in terms of having different kinds of people, different kind of cultures. You was right around different ethnicities and stuff like that, which was always fun because you get to hear different musics, you know, and be involved in that. So I always thought that was awesome to
Well, we've talked a lot about it in the past when we've talked about Los Angeles and being in a big city like that. I mean, it's known for good areas, bad areas. So where you grew up,
yeah,
were you influenced, or was it a stressful time to be pulled apart to do either good or bad?
Yes.
Share some of this.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. To be honest, so me growing up, and I'm telling my age, and I'm 42 now. Birthday was just a couple of weeks ago. So I grew up in the 90s. So in the 90s in general, that was one of, in terms of Los Angeles, one of the peak times in gang culture.
Mm-hmm.
Be that as it may, I was right in the heart of that. You can, the 92 riots, I was right in, our house was right in that.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I still remember how it happened, like the initial part. So some of the famous videos you guys seen, my house is approximately like 10, maybe 15 minutes away from there.
Wow.
And then if it wasn't there, I was at my godmama's house where some of the more famous incidences were happening. We weren't too much, but maybe a block down from there.
Wow.
Well, when you were growing up, CJ,
Yeah.
was there pressure to you?
100%. Growing up, I want to keep saying it, the two things that was important for myself, and I was fortunate. I wasn't lucky. I was just fortunate, because it don't take much to get into that culture, because the culture is so rich. It's so rich in family, and a lot of people don't really realize that when you go into gang culture, your mom is probably in it, your dad, your brothers. Oh yeah. Your brothers.
Wow.
Your uncles. So then sometimes how young men get involved is they seen their brother get jumped, or they seen their sister get beat up by a gang of a different neighborhood. Wow. So then now, not only you want retaliation because that's your brother, but now, okay, well, I want to join this gang to go against that gang. And then that's some of how that stuff gets inherited and continues to have the fights and wow. So forth. For myself, I had a solid foundation in my dad and my cousin. My cousin, the irony was he was in a gang, and but he was adamant about me not joining. And my dad was simply like, "You do this, you out of the house."
Right. Good for him.
And it was 100%. Like he was not playing around with that. So I had two strong structures, even though I seen my cousin, and it's easy if you we're not having that structure, it's easy to get involved.
Well, let me ask you, I'm glad you brought up your dad. And I tease you a lot about this, but and CJ knows where I'm going. CJ's full legal name is Clyde Jenkins III.
That's right.
Correct?
That's right.
So I'd like to know what happened to CJ 1 and 2.
My dad is Clyde Jenkins Jr. and my grandfather is Clyde Jenkins Sr.
Talk about let's start with your grandfather. You shared with me. Where was he from?
Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And they both, my grandfather and my grandmother was both from Shreveport, Louisiana. How they got here, my grandfather's brother, they were sharecroppers. So they were on the farm. They were, and basically in history, once, slavery was emancipated and stuff. And then, but most of them kind of stayed on the land, and now they were just working the land. But in certain areas, whether if it's in Louisiana, some southern places, you still had a labor competition.
Right.
So, a lot of Southerners wanted to keep the labor there as much as possible. So sometimes they would threaten folks to leave. If they tried to leave,
wow,
they'll threaten them to keep them to stay. Well, my grandfather's brother, he left first, and he had to sneak out. He had to hide his ticket in his boot, because sometimes they will come into the radio station or the radio station, train station. It's too much going. I'm like, go to the train station, and sometimes they would heckle people that would try to leave, and if they caught their ticket, they would rip it up and keep them.
Oh wow!
Wow!
So
wow.
My uncle he hid his ticket in his boot, and so when they interrogate, they pat him down, but they didn't find it, and then he hurried up and jumped on that train station and took off to California, took off to Los Angeles.
Wow!
When he got to Los Angeles, he got his job. He then sent the letter out to let them know that he was safe and that he was there. And then once that happened, then my grandfather then took the family and moved to Los Angeles from there.
Wow. And for them back then, that had to be a huge culture shock going from the South to the West Coast.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
You can only matter how that would change them. So my dad technically he was born in Los Angeles. He was the first of the family to be born in Los Angeles.
Let's pivot to your dad, because I know from personal stories that we've had a lot of talks in the old break room down there at Star Trend. Let's honor your father. Tell us about your dad.
My dad's, man, he's hilarious. He passed away in 2012, but my dad was a postal worker for a solid almost about 40 years. He went to Jefferson High School, which was a rival to the high school that I went to, the irony of that, but was very, very man of his conviction, very old school oriented young man or older man. Very, very consistent, was a model of consistency. He really set the bar for myself to where I had to compete to be better than him.
We talk about mentors.
No problem.
You just hit me so much. We've talked so much about our books that we read, things that we do. I see you got some books.
Yeah.
About your dad.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked. You could have gone either ways and cultures, but your dad influenced you. I really want to hit hard how your dad influenced you, and how did that influence catapult you forward?
Great question, Mike. So I'll tell you one of the main stories where he influenced me a lot as a kid is his level of commitment to his job and myself. Nothing deviated from me, nothing deviated from his job, from what he wanted. So for his job, he always won perfect attendance awards. He never missed work. And for myself, how can I miss school if my dad is going to work? You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing him he's getting certificates. And I'm like, man, I want a certificate. Like, how am my pops going to get one? Okay, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to go to school. Because no matter what, sometimes he wasn't feeling the best, but he would still go. So I didn't have an excuse to say, Dad, I ain't feeling good. I ain't going. There's no excuse. He set the bar. So I'm going to school. So guess what? I'm getting perfect attendance, right? And so you see that aspect of me. That's where kind of the work ethic began to take place on that. Like I said earlier, it was just me and my dad. My mom and them separated when I was at an early age. Me and my sister, we separated. I went with my dad. My sister stayed with my mom. From that point, from 6 years old on, he never brought another woman in the house. And I always thought that was pretty amazing for him to say, you know what, I don't want no other woman in this house to try to raise my son. He's going to know that it's his mom and it's me, and that is it. And for him to make that sacrifice, because he didn't have to do that, he could have played the field, if you will.
He sounded like such a man of such incredible integrity.
Yeah, 100%.
And back then, now, even when I grew up, and I'm a little older than you.
Still look good though, Sherry. You still look good.
Thank you. You're my new best friend today. You don't see a lot of that.
No, you don't.
Even back when I was growing up, I had a lot of issues with parents divorcing in the 60s, which you didn't do that then, but so much stigma. And for him to step up and take that stand, I mean, I'm really blown out of the water, because I wished more parents would, take those kind of stands with their kids. And it sounds like him being that way, and it sounds like him making you accountable and teaching you responsibility. You could have went the total opposite way.
Easy. Would have been easy. And that's why, when Mike bringing that up earlier in terms of gang culture and things like that, and being surrounded by that, but having him such a strong figure internally, it was easy almost to make that decision. And I'll touch on that real quick. There's a big difference. When I was growing up, what we call OGs, we call original, it's short for original gangsters. There was a different culture even then, because some of those cultures came from Black-led organizations. So they had structure. So as I was growing up, as I started getting to middle school, high school, and I was I had to go through different gangs all the way from high school all the way up to my house. It was about 7 different gangs that I had to get through. as I was doing that, the best thing that I had for myself, I would always put my cleats on my backpack, and I hang them up on my backpack, and I would just be walking. So when some of the gang members see me and they seen the football jersey, or they see my football, or they see my football cleats, and they're like, you know what? Go ahead and give him a pass. He's trying to do something for himself.
Wow.
So a lot of the older gang members would protect me to make sure that I didn't get some of the younger guys wanted to make a name for themselves and all that. And so he would tell them, no, he's good, because he's trying to do something with himself. He's trying to move on. So that actually helped some of those guys were there. It's not like that as much today, but at that time, that was almost
big.
That was
Very
big.
Those are great lessons. That's the message I wanted to talk about men today.
Right.
Father figures, leaders, mentors. CJ, who was your mentors growing up besides your dad? Because I know you started to go toward. When did you start leaning? Hey, I want to do some sports.
Yeah. I was always athletic. I was, and I never thought nothing of it until, probably 5th grade or so, where we were just playing football at school. And then some of the kids that were already playing on football teams was wanting me to play, So I was like, oh, I guess I can, do that and all that. But one of my mentors outside of my dad was my cousin Jamie, which was my dad's nephew. So my auntie's son. He was much older, because my auntie was much older than my dad. She was like about 18 years older than him. So he was more like almost like an uncle as opposed to a first cousin, because he was so much older. But he was the real first person to put a football in my hand. He was the real first, because my dad was a little older. He had a couple of little injuries here and there, so he couldn't really go out and play and participate. But my cousin, on the other hand, he was same like my dad, but just an extrovert. My dad was very introverted, but my cousin was so opposite of him in terms of, hey, he comes in and loud and this and that, and it was just always, so he instantly, me and him always hit it off. So he was the one who put the football in my hand, really got me going into playing football and basketball and all that. But my dad was such a penny pincher. He did not want to do any kind of Pop Warners, any type. Just wait till you're in high school. Wait till you're in high school. He would tell everyone, no, because they would say, your kid got this, and that talent. He could play baseball. He's playing basketball. He could play this. Get him in. No, wait till high school. It was my cousin who finally convinced him. I was in 8th grade, and my cousin Jamie, shout out, and he passed away. Actually, he passed away last year, about 6 months ago. But Jamie came up to him, Jamie Brown. He said, so my dad goes by Uncle Junior, Uncle June. They would always call him Uncle June. And our friends, they would call him Big Clyde, and I was always Little Clyde because of the same name. So he's like, Uncle, you got to get him in. You got to get him in. The kids are all wanting them. These coaches are wanting them. So my dad never really understood that how talented I was. So my cousin was the first person to convince him. My dad is stubborn as I don't know what. And he was able to finally convince him to let me play. So my dad finally watched me play. The first game, I was playing defensive end. And I was actually upset because I wanted to play running back. But they already had that established. And I'm like, what is defensive end? I felt like it was a punishment. And I was like, I don't want to play this sport no more and this and that. And when I came up and I told them I'm a starting defensive end, everybody was like, whoa, what? And I'm like, I'm almost crying because I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to do this. And they're like, no, you get to hit the quarterback. You get to do this and this. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, okay. First game, 4 sacks, 2 fumbles. I was just locked in ever since.
Eating it up.
Tell
me real quick, because I know Los Angeles and we joke about this, but you're sports heroes.
Yes.
Tell you're Laker fan, you're Rams fan,
yes.
Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Especially the 90s?
Yes. I'm a LA everything, just like no different from if there was pro teams in Nebraska, I think people grow up to be a Husker fan and whatever the pro teams are as well and stuff like that. So it's really just being a loyalist and where I was born and raised on.
I want to get this in quick before our break.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
That's my favorite, one of my favorite athletes, one of my favorite players.
Why is Kobe?
Adversity. He was really to see him go through the things that he went through, for better or for worse. We all have our own opinions to those personal things, but I always marveled at the fact that when he was going at the height of that and going through his court and how I read his book, in one of his books, The Mamba Mentality. But even before that, he explained the process of going through court, fighting for essentially your life, and your livelihood, and it's public, and then going on the road to play basketball is still a job. How are you able to break that and then perform at your job at a high level? That takes a lot of mental strength to separate the two. And during that time, and he's getting heckled, he's getting booed, but yet he's putting up some of his individually best performances of his career. And I always marveled at how you were able to do that. I think that would spark the flame of me being more of a mental than it was physical in terms of playing sports. That it's actually more mental.
One question about the Lakers.
Huh?
Is Stephon Curry as hot in person as he is on TV?
Yeah, Curry, he's at the Warriors, and I've seen him when I was younger, but I don't have no say in that.
Well, tell me that your mental strength is always. I see it today. I've seen it in the past. How did Kobe Bryant? How did that light come on? What was it you saw?
I seen where it started was when he was young. He went to the Lakers as 18. So I was only but a couple years behind him. So he almost maturated in terms of like a big brother watching him on TV, and watching a young man literally grow before your eyes. So he's almost setting the blueprint on how to handle such pressures and stuff, and he just happened to be on my favorite team of all time, because Magic is my number one guy. Magic Johnson is my number one. Kobe is shoulder to shoulder, but his Magic, but both of them. So seeing him going into that process and taking over the mantle, and then going into being overlooked, being, I don't think he's got it, and to see him work behind the scenes to show people that I'm the real deal, and I'm meant to be
real deal. CJ, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more great stories with CJ Jenkins in just a minute.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
February is American Heart Month, and with heart disease as the #1 leading cause of death in Nebraska, now is the best time to start thinking about your health. Maintaining a healthy blood pressure is one of the best ways to avoid heart disease, and the blood pressure screening is fast, easy, and can be free. The best way to get screened is at your yearly wellness visit with your doctor. For more information and ways to get a blood pressure screening, search Chronic Disease Nebraska. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK, make flying easy.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back in. What's Next 24? Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the host, Mike and Jerry, as well as a couple of great guests in studio. Once again, 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line if you guys want to get involved, as well as you can put a face to voice using any of the streams. We got about 15 minutes on segment number 2. Mike and Jerry, throw it over to you guys.
Welcome back to What's Next with me and Mike. And we are talking with our esteemed guest, CJ Jenkins. He has just enthralled us with his life growing up in LA, and we cannot wait to hear more, CJ.
Oh, thank you.
CJ, it's just been so fun. Love having you and Kamari on the show today. Let's start. How the heck did you find Nebraska? Tell us the journey from Los Angeles. Did you even know where Nebraska was on the map?
So I'm glad I'm on radio to say this. All right. let me make it clear for anyone that's listening. All right. LA folks, Los Angeles people knew Lincoln, Nebraska. They knew Lincoln. They knew a little bit of Omaha because Omaha had a good connection between Chicago and that. A lot of people from Chicago, LA, and that would somehow be the link between there and Denver. So LA knew Lincoln, Nebraska. I want people to be clear on that. All right. Mainly because of the Cornhuskers. There was national champs, big time program. So there was a lot of respect in terms of their football acumen, and then their volleyball started to kick in, which became more synonymous with people understanding what was going on in Lincoln. Now, what we thought was in Lincoln was just the football field and cornfields. That was it. We just thought
dirt roads and horse and buggy.
Yep, that was it. We just steaks, potatoes, football, and that was it. So we knew that. Hastings, on the other hand, that was different. I didn't know where Hastings was at all. I had to grab a book, an atlas. We're telling our age. We had to learn how maps and stuff was going. So
did they recruit you?
So I went from high school. I went to my junior college in Santa Monica College. Santa Monica Junior College was a very very distinguished junior college, big on academics, and it was a big difference from Los Angeles high school for me to going out to Santa Monica. Chad Ochocinco went there. Steve Smith went there.
Oh, wow.
Some big NFL pros went there. So my defensive coordinator coached the defensive coordinator at Hastings when he was in college. So that was the tie-in on myself being able to go out there to Hastings. I had 2 chances, or I was recruited as well by USC when Pete Carroll, his second season going into that year. I stayed 3 years in my junior college as opposed to being in 2 and then getting out because I wanted my degree. I didn't want to leave without not getting my degree. And when you go to JUCO, a lot of athletes want to hurry up, get in and get out. And they didn't care. They get the classes. They just wanted to be eligible enough and go. For myself, I wanted to make sure I get my degree.
That was important to you, too.
That was 100% important.
Pause there for a minute.
Yeah.
Because you told me how a coach got upset with you.
Yes. When I was my second year going in to my junior college, you take your class, you got to get your classes, and to be a full-time student, you got to have 12 or more units. So I had about 16 units of classes, and the coaches go through to make sure you all got your grade or your classes and make sure you're all hitting the numbers you're supposed to hit. So this is nothing new, but probably new to you guys. They want to make sure, especially in football, a lot of coaches make sure you get, as an athlete, that you get the easiest classes as you can because they want you eligible. Yep. And they want you to be on the field.
Yep.
Be that as it may, that's just what it is, right? Yep. So they don't want you deviating from that too much because they don't want to take that risk of you not being ineligible. So my classes come to the front of his desk and he's like, oh, no, we not. I had economics, I had microeconomics, macroeconomics, business, advanced business class, speech, and I had advanced English. So everything was either advanced or above. And the ones that are advanced, I get tested in. So I don't have a choice in that. They put you in there. So I got pulled in and he's like, what are you doing? What is your problem? And I said, well, what are you talking about? He said, why do you have economics and this? I got these classes for all you guys. I said, nah, I want to be a business major. I want to get my degree and I want to earn my degree on what I'm doing. And I'm in school. I want to learn some things. Mm-hmm. Well, he goes, Jenkins, if you fail, that's going to be on you. And I'm not going to help you. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not, but and he did that publicly too around the team. And then, and so that kind of set me back a little bit. And the head coach was, felt like that I wasn't going to succeed or I wasn't smart enough. And, some of the players were like, hey, you should take some. And I'm like, no. And I said, matter of fact, y'all should be taking some of these classes as well. And don't just take the easy way and taking these small classes because it's not helping you at all.
No underwater basket weaving.
Yeah, no. You'd be surprised on some of them, some of the classes. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that.
So you were serious about getting an education.
Yes.
But you were also serious about making it, let's give the NFL a try. Correct?
Yes.
Pivot to there. Tell us, as far as you went to Hastings.
Yeah.
What was the football experience like?
The football experience was different, but it was fun at the same time. But it was my first real understanding of the politics of the game as well. Mm-hmm. But when I came here and I came here I had a scholarship. Hastings only give out a 90% scholarship, don't give out full scholarships, but 90% is 90%. That's I'll take that any day of the week.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I came out here just myself, obviously not knowing anything, but I knew how to play football. That was the ultimate bridge gapper right there. Mm-hmm. And I can really get acclimated with everybody else just by my play. So, I come in and my first game, I ended up being defensive player of the year or defensive player of the week, national defensive player of the week in the first game. And from that point, I just kept balling and kept doing the things that I need to do. And then I was on the dean's list on top of that in Hastings and stuff. So, with my education. So I was just making sure I was being represented and I was representing my family in the utmost and stuff. Because when I knew immediately that I was going to be an outlier in terms of, and it's not nothing negative or positive. It's just like, I knew there's not a lot of Black folks in Hastings.
Right.
And I knew that I had an assignment that was not literally given to me, but I knew I had an assignment. And that assignment was to make myself a good representation of what people have not seen.
Great message.
I'm
CJ.
a Black man coming from Los Angeles. And in terms of movies and music and this and image of what a person coming from Los Angeles would look like or be like. So I had to knock out a couple of those misconceptions. And one of those main misconceptions is that I'm just here just to be an athlete and I'm not smart or I'm not intelligent. Yeah. So when I was competing on the field, I was also competing off the field as well.
Constantly
Plus you were representing your family,
I'm representing
especially
my family.
your father.
I'm representing my father. I'm representing my name. There was a lot going on. So the competition was never let up. I was always in it.
Tell us about the influence that you had after you played. You're working out. You shared with me some great stories. You met some very influential people, athletes.
Yes.
In working out. Let's go there.
Yeah. Oh, so when we go back during the off season, football and everything like that, I would always obviously go back to Los Angeles, not just because it was home, but it was where I could compete at the highest with some of the best athletes. So, I had the honor to play against Chad Johnson. He would come back and work out with us. Fast as lightning. And very cool to talk with afterwards. Willie McGinnis. We would have in LA, this is one of the famous workout areas called the sand dunes. It's just literally almost a mountain or a hill of sand, and you just run up them and blast up them. And every Saturday and Sunday. So it was Tony Gonzalez you would see there, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Willie McGinnis was there, a couple of linebackers, not as big, but pretty famous in terms of how long their careers was. A lot of running backs was up there. So the best thing that I was able to get out of them was during breaks or at the end of practice, they would talk about how the NFL is, some of the things that you don't hear or see about, the management, agents, money, some of the vices, right? The drugs, women, things like that were important that you had to learn that they don't teach you when you go in there, when you go into as a professional athlete.
Right.
So those were the things that I was like, wow, I didn't, I didn't understand that part. I just thought, just make money, be famous and call it good. So that was my early, really stages of going, okay, this is a business.
Yeah.
This is not just,
Let's go to the moment where you said you considered Canada. You can look at the NFL.
Yeah.
You were trying to make some decisions and talking to people, and you had some aggressive workouts, and you missed. You almost made it to the NFL, but some about what was it? The time.
So my 40 time for me, because I didn't have thank you to Lonnie. He was my trainer when I was in Los Angeles. Worked us out immensely. I had to, because I was in Hastings and I was from there in terms of college. So in terms of professional, I'm not top recruited in terms of coming from USC or Arizona State or Nebraska or Florida State. So I had to do more just to keep myself competitive with the rest of the top flight players. So one of those things what always was against me was I would always say this, and you'll hear this synonymous, like pass the look test. You have to pass the look test in football, in sports in general. But when you're certain positions, you have to pass the look test. So with me coming in at 5'9", 5'10" at the time, I had to make sure that I hit my 40 time of like 4.3, 4.4. So I was hitting 4.4, but not a low. It was a low 4.4, but I needed to hit a 4.3. I had to do more. and I would just keep missing it when I was doing my training, my shuttle times. And it was me, a best friend of mine who was also playing there. And then it was a top guy from Florida that was there. And, you know, he passed the look test. He had all the metrics in terms of the height, accurate, but, you know, I was just hitting the numbers, but I was missing them because it was just couldn't get it. Just couldn't quite get to that number. But everything else in terms of metrics, I was lined up with him.
And then here's the lesson that I learned from you the other day. Just so you didn't quite get that past that test.
Yeah.
You had to make a critical decision in your life, either to keep going or you had a family at this point.
Yeah. So fast forward, right? I was still playing. I was still recruiting. The coaches were great. The coaches was awesome in terms of CFL and the NFL and the scouts, because they all said, look, you're just right there. And when you're trying to be aspiring to get into the league, what you want to do is you just want to kick that door down. Once you kick that door down and you're in. But you just got to kick the door down. So when that happened, and I didn't, but I knew I was right there. And my wife now, who had Zion, who's now 19, when she had Zion, my son, my first, and then obviously Kamari, but he was about a year old. He was about to get close to a year old. I came back to Lincoln on his year birthday. So as I was going through this was 06 going into 07, like literally January of 07. And I was getting ready to gear up to get ready for football again and get ready to hit the camps again and all that. I was all lined up. I knew what I needed to do. And I was watching, it was the 2nd of January of 07. And I was just coming out the bed and it just hit me. Like, I have a son now and he's about to hit a year old. And I was planning on coming out here anyway for his year birthday. And then I was going to go back to playing. But it was just like an epiphany hit. And my brain just said, hey, why don't you stay out in Lincoln? And I was like, I wasn't really thinking about doing that. And then I was like, you know what? And so all this energy in my head just kind of flooded me and said, your grandfather never left your dad. Grandfather was always there with your dad. Your dad never left you. Your dad was always there for you. You have responsibility. You don't want your son to not be with you, and I didn't want to be a part-time dad. It was, they did that for you, you're going to have to do that for him, and you owe that to him. And so once that hit, I never looked back. It was, like I said before, it always brings chills when I tell that story, because I tell everyone that was the greatest decision that I've ever made in my life, and it was the best decision that I've ever made in my life.
CJ, do we need to take a quick break on that? We'll come right back and we'll finish up with CJ Jenkins.
Thank you.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Ready to spruce up your space? No matter what project is on your list, you can check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 7th through the 9th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. With over 200 businesses under one roof, you'll find the latest in home innovations and experts to handle your dream projects. Admission is just $10, and children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln or their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment, What's Next 24. We only got a little bit of time here left, so I'll throw it over to the host right away here, Mike and Sherry.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Excuse me. I just want to say we're having a great show with CJ Jenkins today, and I also want to give a quick shout-out to all the drivers at StarTran today. I hope you're listening. Get some great lessons here today. Sherry, I think you've got a few quick questions you want to ask.
I do. We're going to pivot really quick to CJ's beautiful daughter, Kamari. Let me ask you one quick question. You keep mentioning USC, and now you've been in the heart of Huskerville. USC is now in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
when we play them,
it's big time now.
Who you going to root for?
Oh, USC, of course.
Dude,
Dude, going
that's
in.
blasphemy on this station.
It's blasphemy, but it's also loyalty. It is loyalty.
All right. The beautiful Kamari, and we are so excited to have her here for numerous reasons. But she is a freshman at Lincoln High School,
yes, I am.
Which is exciting in and of itself. But she is also an amazing athlete in her own right. Kamari, why don't you tell everybody what sports you play and what positions you play on those sports?
I play softball, and I'm a shortstop in center field. And then for track, I run the 100, 200, and 4x1.
Wow.
And then for volleyball, I can really play all around. I've played all around really, except for DS and libero. So yeah, that's pretty.
Do you hear that, Coach Busboom?
Yeah.
She can play any position. You keep that in mind in
Right.
the next couple of years.
Uh,
Anyway,
Busboom, my wife, she plays softball with the head coach.
there
Oh,
we
my
go.
goodness.
Yeah.
It's not what you know until you know.
That's
CJ,
right.
we just got a little bit of time. I'm sorry, Sherry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
okay.
I want to talk about your journey. You went to becoming working at the penitentiary.
It's all about him.
Well, no. I want to mention.
I wasn't done.
I want to mention quickly your son. Your
Yes.
son had a little bit of a special needs.
Yes.
But yet he is a great athlete.
Yeah.
Would you share that story?
So my son was diagnosed with Stargardt disease when he was about 10, 11 years old. It's a deterioration of the retina. So he has 100% peripheral, but his direct vision is about 10 to 15%. But be that as it may, he was able to still continue to play sports and play varsity football. He's now at Peru State playing football.
Awesome.
As well. He ran track. We did all sports. We never made him get any excuses at all. We told him to play anything and everything that you can do and make yourself no excuses.
And he looks great. You can see him on videos from Huddle.
Yes.
On Huddle.
And for people that, just really quick, for people that don't understand that from a medical perspective, that unfortunately that labels him legally blind.
Yes,
I had a
that is
daughter that
correct.
was legally blind,
Yep.
and
Yep.
for him to play the sports that he plays
Yes.
is just nothing but an absolute miracle.
Right. And thank you for the Commission of the Blind too. They was really helpful
Yes.
in us
Oh,
going
yes.
through this, and they're really great people there, and I appreciate them a lot.
Kamara, I got to put you on the spot. What kind of dad is he?
He's a great dad. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I remember when I was younger, I didn't have much of what the kids had in elementary school, but I remember he was always there for me no matter what. And that's what I will always remember. And I remember nowadays, some of my friends, they don't have a dad like him. So I always have to be thankful that he's still in my life, because some kids' dads aren't there for them to give them what they have or what they want. So now that I have a dad, well,
Now that you have a dad, yeah.
I've
Came
had-
out of the blue. I just jumped in. There you
CJ,
go.
is there something you're not telling us?
Yeah, I guess no. Surprise.
How do you
No.
how do you get along with your brother? Or do we argue a little bit?
It's more like sibling arguing. I mean, we've
great.
had those moments where we were going over the top with arguing, but we do have a really good relationship. I mean, one day we'll argue and the next day we'll be best friends.
Awesome.
So
And let's give a quick shout out to Crystal.
Yep, Crystal. Yep, she's my wife and obviously the mother of both my kids and stuff. She's actually her coach in club softball.
Oh, awesome.
And so we both coach parents. You know, we both coach both our kids. You know, through that. So right now she's working. I told her, I texted her, we're live and all that. But she's great. She was a former athlete, so both parents are athletes, and we go and instill that in these kids.
CJ, I'm sorry, we only got about a minute.
Yep,
So
not a problem.
please, two questions. First of all, tell us what you're doing today on the side out at the Wave. Introduce about the Wave. And number two, after that, you've got the microphone. You get to say anything you want to the community.
Oh, okay. I'm a trainer. I'm a speed and agility and quickness trainer. I've had that my certification for about 10 years now. But I really started getting really into the real crux of it over this last couple of months and stuff. So I'm at Waverly at the Wave, and I mainly like coaching and training the youth. That's my favorite in terms of getting them from there to moving up to different levels. So between softball players, baseball, football, it don't matter. We still get it going. The kids love it, and I have enjoyment out of that.
How can people get a hold of you?
You get a hold of me at Jim Slasher CJ at CJ83 and Instagram. I'm also on YouTube. I have my own little YouTube channel that just upstarted a couple months ago. You know, I've just got back on the social media scene, so I'm still new to it. So this is my ace right here. She teaches me how to get through all that.
I call my grandkids if I get stuck.
CJ, real quick, what would you like to say to the community of Lincoln?
I would just like to say to the youth, young men that look like myself, you understand, I've kind of said this in a couple other videos that I've done over the past, but understand that there are hurdles that's going to be in your path of your life in terms of, you know, those hurdles are, I call them, because I just always put sports involved in terms of life of decisions. So you're going to have hurdles in terms of adversity. And I'm always find those teachers and mentors that help you get over the hurdles, because those hurdles can't leave. They can't move. You can't kick them down. You can't move them away. think of them as they're just bolted down in your lane. The only way you can get over them is to get over them, but you have to have the right technique and the right fortitude, the right mental to get over them. That way the hurdle becomes easy to get over. It doesn't matter how many you have in your lane. Some have more, some have less, but you're going to have them. And it's always important to how to get over them and to learn and how to get over them the quickest, the fastest, so you can keep moving. Because I'll be lying to you to tell you that you will never have any hurdles. But I'll be telling the truth, and I'm honest to say, okay, you're going to have a couple of hurdles, but here's how you get through them. Here's the technique, right? And I think we don't teach our youth that much, as much in terms of how to get over them. Sometimes we fall victim and try to tell them that there isn't any or not to worry about them, but to see that they're there and know how to get over them. So to the youth everywhere, just understand, find those leaders, find those mentors, receive that information. They're not there to bring you down or put you down. They're there to help you because they probably went through those hurdles before, or they probably went through that adversity before, and they're there to try to help you out.
Well, those are great lessons. Sherry, this was a great show. I think this was one of the best.
Kamari, I have a funny feeling we're going to be having you as our special guest in that seat. We'll put that over there and probably here real soon.
I'll just sip my coffee.
I have a funny feeling you're going to probably be a phenom in one or more of those sports that you play.
CJ, thank you for coming on the
Mike.
show.
Thank you,
Harrison.
Good job, man. Appreciate you.
And for that, we will see you next week. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.